everyone. Welcome to episode 4 of Histórias Flamencas. In this episode, I decided not to do an interview format because I'd like to take a little time at the beginning of the new year to introduce Flamenco For Life formally, to tell you what inspired its creation, what its philosophy and teaching methodology are all about, and also introduce to you the Sevillanas Project, which is beginning in this new year, in this first semester at Flamenco For Life. So to start off, to talk to you a little bit about Flamenco For Life, why I started this studio and picked this particular philosophy to teach through is because of my own experience of learning flamenco dance. When I first started learning dance, my concept of it was, here's flamenco, it's absolutely beautiful, it looks this way, it sounds this way, and I have to basically break myself into pieces and do whatever it takes to look exactly like this and sound exactly like this. And that's what art is. And some people are more talented and some people are less talented. And I wondered if I'd be talented enough and, can I do this? Thinking that what I was trying to reproduce was almost like, when painters paint high realism and it's like they're trying to create a perfect photograph of the still life or the portrait or whatever they're trying to paint. That was my concept. Like, that was my job or that was my goal. What I was not in for and what I didn't have any concept of until I started to get quite into dance was whether it's dance or any other art form that you choose to take seriously, that you really choose to engage with fully. It is a medium. It is one of the most amazing mediums for therapy, for personal development, and for growing as a person and filling up your soul. I wasn't ready for that. I didn't understand that. And I didn't understand that the journey was much more important than the end result. Not that the end result is not important, but I think a lot of people are terrified of starting in art form or to be creative because there's this misconception that you have to be naturally talented or your parents have to have done it or you have to have some kind of special affinity for it, and that arts are for special people, creative people. All people are creative. I just want to get that out. All people are creative, various different ways of being creative, and flamenco could not at all be for you. Obviously, Flamenco For Life is about people who are interested in flamenco, but first I want to discuss this idea of being creative and not being afraid of it. Human beings are creative. We started creating and communicating in the arts before we wrote down words and before we had speech, before we had language. Creativity is all that human beings do. Look at everything that we have on this planet and in this world. It comes from the creative instinct and impetus in human beings. So with that in mind, that arena, that medium for personal development, for growth, for exercising creativity, to being able to understand and communicate with your own sense of creativity and humanity, above all else, humanity, getting in touch with your own humanity, and working through becoming fully you, becoming a full person through the arts is the starting point of Flamenco For Life. So although absolutely it is a dance school like any other, technique is important, learning steps is important, becoming a dancer obviously is important. The difference at Flamenco For Life is that none of that is ever done without the very intentional undergirding or support of understanding what art is all about. And it's about our humanity, and it's about our development as human beings, and it's about learning how to communicate with ourselves and other people and become the creative creatures that human beings are supposed to be. So that is fundamentally what it's all about. So if you have any reservations, any doubts, any fears about should you start flamenco or any other art form, are you talented? Forget all of that. Forget it all. Just try. And if If flamenco's not for you, then maybe art is, or salsa is, or something else is. But the goal is to tap into your creativity and to tap into the world of art, where your soul speaks directly through, in this case, movement and music, or if you were doing a different art form, paint or sculpture, whatever it is. But in this case, obviously, because it's flamenco, movement and music, that is the major goal and the support, the support of what Flamenco for Life is all about. So in a more compact way, the mission is to introduce students to flamenco through expert pedagogy. I do believe that teaching is just as much an art form as any other art form. I've been teaching for 26 years. Not flamenco particularly. I've been teaching flamenco for a few years in different capacities, but I have been teaching English as a second language for over 26 years. So I have been studying how to teach anything, and working with thousands of students and understanding what it takes to see where people are at, meet them where they're at, and help them as individuals in an individual approach to get to where they want to go or need to be. Okay, so again, my mission is to introduce students to flamenco through expert pedagogy, not only as a dance form, but also as a medium for overall health, mental health, spiritual health, physical health, emotional health, as well as personal development, resilience, healing, and empowerment. It does all of this if it is engaged with that open mind. Not just, here's the dance form, I want to be a dancer, this is what I need to look like. And it becomes a frustrating process if you're not understanding that it's meant to build you as a human being to get there as well. So Flamenco for Life, for that reason, has two streams, the folkloric and the professional or performance stream. So what I mean by that is, if you're someone who gets into things like I like to do things or try to achieve a professional level at anything that I do. And that's what excites me. So that's kind of an A-type personality. Then the performance stream would be for you. But if you're different from me, if you are, and which is absolutely valid as well, if you're more of a person who just wants to first get their feet wet and see how they feel about something, you think you just want to do it as a hobby or as a medium of self-expression, or a place to be with people to do something that you love, have a community, belong, a hobby. If that's the extent to which you are thinking you would like to take it, there's the folkloric stream. So that takes pressure off. You don't have to feel pressured that you now must perform. The folkloric stream and the performance stream both have technique and both teach you how to dance properly. Obviously, there's no point in teaching you how to dance in any other way than properly. But the difference is, in the performance stream, the idea is that one day you will be on a stage, and those classes are an hour and a half long, and they go more deeply into every aspect of flamenco, the flamenco world and flamenco dance, how it goes together. The palmas, the percussive clapping, cante, dance, how they all fit in together, the relationship between the musicians and the dancer and the singer, all of that. So that the performance stream will cover all of that in an hour and a half class, so that you get the full big picture, and it's preparing you to perform. The folkloric stream is giving you the dance portion predominantly. We will cover obviously some of the palmas and the singing, because it's part of understanding any choreography and it's part of understanding the format and the form of flamenco. But we won't go in as deep, and there won't be as much pressure to perform. There'll be more room to just enjoy and express, and just enjoy it as an activity, an art form, a place to communicate with other people, to meet other people, and just to enjoy flamenco without any pressure for having to perform. So those are the two streams, and that's the logic behind them. So you can enter where you feel comfortable. So let's say you enter in the folkloric stream and you decide, oh my God, I love this. No problem. move over to the performance stream. Let's say you enter in the performance stream and you're like, this is a little too much for me. Again, no problem. Move down to the folkloric stream. Both, like anything that we're learning, whether it's sevillanas or tangos, they're going to be parallel. So you'll have the same class in folkloric as in performance. So you can switch anytime you feel like it, if you need to, if that's what you need to do, a switch at one point. So again, just to sort of summarize what Flamenco for Life is all about, it is a place where, yes, of course, you're going to learn flamenco dance, but very intentionally through expert pedagogy, which brings me to a methodology that I've developed for myself. I developed it for myself because it's a long story. I'm not going to get into it this time, but I will summarize it in telling you that I spent a lot of time away from flamenco, not because I wanted to. I was terribly injured. It took me a long time to get a proper diagnosis, to get the treatment, and to heal back to a place where I could dance again. So I missed many years and kind of was left very behind by the cohort that I had started with, because I had missed almost 10 years of dance, sadly. And I thought to myself, is there any way I can catch up, and how can I catch up? And truthfully, it's not like you can condense 10 years of dance absolutely into, let's say, 5, right? But you can start to learn in a very strategic way so that you can learn more profoundly, more deeply, hone your technique better, so that what you do dance, so maybe my repertoire isn't as big, but my ability to dance what I can dance is going to be at a very high level. And that's what I was aiming at. And by aiming in that way, I discovered a methodology. It's proprietary, so I'm not going to take it apart and tell you all the details of it now, but it is, I will tell you, it's based in neuroscience. It's based in going slow so that you're not making mistakes and then having to unlearn mistakes. And it has a very strategic approach where you're learning mechanics first and then going from there. So what you're really learning first, and I will tell you this part of it because it's key and it's the most important part, is you're learning to understand how things that fire together, wire together, how your neurology works to allow your body to make the movements and to get into the physical technique that you need to dance extremely well from day one. And then you learn steps bit by bit. They're taken apart in certain small chunks and rebuilt. So it's slower in the beginning, but you start to move faster more quickly in the sense that your technique and your ability to dance and understand what you're doing will become hardwired into your body far more quickly. And it will allow you more flexibility, agility, and speed and learning in an exponential fashion as you go down the road. That is what it has allowed me to do. I've learned more using this methodology in the past 5 years and progressed more in the past 5 years than I did in, let's say, the 5 years previous to when I got injured. And I've been dancing, I started dancing 20 years ago. So it says a lot, and I'm really excited to share this methodology with you. So that is what I wanted to tell you about my small but growing dance school, Flamenco for Life, and I would love, love, love to see you in the studio. You always get 2 free classes, and up to Valentine's Day, if you join now, you're still under the Christmas promotion or the holiday promotion, and you will get 15% off when you book your first semester. So you always get 2 free classes, trial classes, but if you book before Valentine's Day, you'll also get 15% off your first semester. So that wraps up Flamenco for Life. I want to now turn over to the Sevillanas Project that I'm starting this semester. So the 2 palos that I'm working on this semester that I'm teaching are tangos and sevillanas. Tangos is not part of the project because it's the Sevillanas Project. Sevillanas is a folk or folkloric flamenco dance that I find to be one of the best ways to introduce yourself to flamenco, because it requires a lot of coordination, physical coordination, and movement in space, which is very important to dance, obviously, without too much complex footwork. So it will build your coordination and your confidence, allow you to dance alone if you so choose, but they're usually dance with partners or in groups. And dance with partners, learn how to dance with a partner so you're not alone, right? It's very daunting to be doing a solo piece, especially if you're new, and dancing maybe in a small group. So the Sevillanas Project is fostering connections between people who are locally in front of each other, but also people who are across the world from each other. Why and how? How is because Sevillanas has a very strict structure. It has a certain amount of bars, always. It has 4 different, what we call coplas, so they're like verses or stanzas with several verses. And they're exactly the same. There are points at which you pass your partner and meet your partner again. Those are exactly programmed in each copla. And you can dance the same formula with various different interpretations and still not miss a beat, dancing with a partner that you've never danced with before. So someone who learns Sevillanas in Japan could dance with someone from Germany. And me, for example, I learned Sevillanas in Toronto and I danced it at Tapas Papas Frita in Scottsdale, Phoenix, Arizona, with people I barely knew because we both knew the dance and I could get on stage and dance with them without rehearsing because we know the Sevillanas. And even though they might dance it a tiny bit differently, a little bit different style, a little bit different movements, we still meet each other at the points where we're supposed to. We start together, we cross each other when we're supposed to, and we end together. So it's really amazing. It's a beautiful experience. It's a very inclusive, unifying dance that connects people from all over the world. And I thought it would be a beautiful project to start 2025 with. So the Sevillanas Project is occurring in this first semester in class, starting Thursday, January 9th, and also Saturday, January 11th. If you take a look at the Flamenco For Life class schedule, it'll tell you there. But it's Thursday evening, January 9th, starting at 7 o'clock, and Saturday morning starting at 10 a.m. on January 11th. Every Sunday as well from 10 a.m. to 11 a.m. I will be teaching a live online class for Sevillanas for people who are further away. No matter where you are in the world, you can take part in that free class. Online classes are, as we know, never as great, especially if they're dance classes, as in-person classes because I won't be right in front of you. I won't be able to see you, especially if there are a lot of people. You'll be able to view me doing the dance and you might be able to ask me some questions and upload videos. And by next class, I can correct and help. But in real time, basically, I'm just going to be demonstrating the class, teaching a class. You'll be following along. You'll have the recording. You can review it. It will always be up on my YouTube channel. You can practice it as many times as you like. And I would urge you to subscribe and then in the comments, ask your questions, ask for clarification. And on our Flamenco For Life Facebook page, you can upload whatever you're working on, what you might have questions about, and I'll get on there and help teach you some things teach your gaps, let's say. So again, the philosophy and methodology for Flamenco For Life and the Sevillanas Project are the topics for this episode of Histórias Flamencas. I hope that what I've discussed excites you and interests you and that you will join Flamenco For Life online and in person here in Phoenix, Arizona. The best way to reach me is through the website. Email me at contact@flamencoforlife or go to the website, go to the contact page. There's a form you can fill in. If you have any questions whatsoever, I'd be thrilled to hear from you. And I look forward to seeing you in class and online and meeting you in any format I can. And I hope that you will give the Sevillanas Project a try, because it's going to lead to a presentation to be announced. I'm not exactly sure yet. You have to just start things in life. You have to start and make sure that you just keep going to get to your destination. I'm not exactly sure what venue we're going to have in Phoenix, but definitely May 6th, we will put on a performance of what we've learned so far in some capacity, in some venue. So whoever is here in Phoenix and can attend and dance in person, that's what we'll do. For people online, you'll definitely be able to upload everything you've learned to the Flamenco For Life Facebook page and share your progress with me and with everyone else who's involved in the project. And also submit your videos so that I can make a montage of your work and we can publish it on the Flamenco For Life channel as a kind of global project that we've worked on together. So it's going to be an adventure. I'm starting it. I'm hoping that, well, I know we're going to get to a beautiful place by May 6th. What exact form it's going to take, I don't know yet. So I hope you'll join me in that adventure. Trust me and trust yourself that we're going to create something beautiful and we'll keep working on it. Thank you so much for watching this podcast. If you've watched the previous episodes or just this episode, if you have enjoyed any one of these episodes, I ask that you do me the favor of subscribing. The more people subscribe, the sooner this can be monetized and the sooner I'll be able to spend more time bringing you more and better content and interviewing more and more people to share their who can share their flamenco journeys with you, tips, advice, and inspiring stories. Thank you so much again for being online. Once again, Happy New Year. I wish you all the best. Take care and have a wonderful day, evening, morning, whatever time of day it is for you, wherever you are in the world.